Let's do a very simple eye makeup look. I feel as though I haven't been very adventurous with eye makeup recently. It's because I haven't been feeling great, and then when I'm not feeling great, the last thing I really want to do is put loads of makeup on my face. But the sun is shining today and we're all good. So let's use this. It's a cinnamon swirl. It's a pen like these. These are really popular at the moment. It's brand Delilah, the Smooth Shadow Stick. And the reason why we're seeing lots of brands come out with these sort of wand style eyeshadows that go on like a cream and then they sort of dry and set is because they're so damn easy. And also we don't have to worry about them breaking and shattering and opening our eyeshadow palette and it's bloody broken and gone everywhere. Anyway, these are so easy to use. We're just going to scribble this all over the eye like so. This is a really nice colour. It's got a little bit of sparkle to it. And then actually cleaned some makeup brushes. And you see that when I relax my eye, that sort of disappears. It's because my eye's starting to hood. Once upon a time that was there, and now it's here. So we're just going to use the brush very lightly to buff the edges out a bit. You know how I always say, higher, higher, that is why. So we've got this space here that I want to put just a bit more product on. So I'm going to bring the stick there. That's why it's really important to relax the eye and look straight ahead, because what we tend to do is do all of this when we're in the mirror and then we relax our eye and it goes. So just do it slowly. And it's just in this outer eye area where we've got lid space, but we've also got a bit of a hood. What we don't want to do at this point is bring this product down, because that will pull the eye down. So we're just very gently and softly moving the product so it doesn't, basically it looks like it's been plonked there. Like so. Do you see the difference when you start to, and then you can just tidy up afterwards. So you're going a lot higher than you probably feel that comfortable with. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So scribble, scribble, scribble. With these Delilah pencils, you have got a bit of playtime. Sometimes with other brands, they dry very, very quickly. So you've just got to move faster, but once they're on, they aren't budging. I really like Vive eye ones. Ilia does some nice ones. Ilia does some lovely colours. They've got some lilacs and mint greens, cool shades of brown. The first brand that I think that came up with them was maybe Bobbi Brown, but I wouldn't, bet my life on that. So we're coming up quite high, but it gets more and more sort of faint, that colour as we get to the top. And we're keeping it all up. You've just got to be quite brave. Isn't that lovely? I'm trying to say it's a nice shade of brown. And then not everyone will want to do this, but I prefer it. Just going underneath the eye. And then I'm using the same brush just to buff that in a little bit. Now, for some of you, that will be plenty. That's enough, which is absolutely fine. I think that looks great. For some of you, that would be a lot of makeup. For others, you'll be like, well, Genevieve, I do that kind of thing all the time. So if you want to add a bit more oomph, I'm going to use Hilden Beauty. This is the Silk to Set Kajal liner in shade Pecan. It's this lovely shade. Oh, I've done a makeup look with this look. So it's a nice deep shade of brown. That's the colour. I was just swatching the eyeshadow crayon before I started. So see how those two colours work really well together. Really nice. I'm just going to give this a sharpen. Okay, we don't need it to be super sharp. And then with this, I'm going to use the side of the pencil. Notice how I'm using my little finger as an anchor. I'm going to just come across the eye. Like so. And then at the end, I'm going to just come a little bit higher. Like so. You could, she says that, but I'm not sure I've got the right brush to do it. Oh, that'll do. You could leave that as it is, or slowly soften that line and buff it in a little bit, which is what I tend to like to do, just so it looks a little bit softer. You could again leave it as that, or you could go to the lower waterline. I tend to do that more for an evening look. It sort of adds that sultry vibe to it. These are very soft pencils, very, very soft, very gentle for the eye. They've got gorgeous colours. Susie Hilden, it's an Irish brand. Beautiful eyeshadow palettes and lovely lip products. So we're going sort of slightly sexier with the eye, but good to know the different things you can do. Let's do that on the other side. Getting my brush.
We'll put something on the snack jar.
Yep. Softening that line. And then going on the waterline. Softening again. And then that's how we're looking at the moment. I would then want to go back in, or actually with an eyeshadow bronzer, ideally. So I've got this Giorgio Armani one, but use any powder bronzer. With that same brush we used at the beginning, I'm just going to go over that top part of the eye. Just to soften, and then go underneath as well. So when I do this with bronzer, we want to come out and up. And then I like to come just down the side of the nose and connect everything together. And again, going underneath the eye. If you look at the red carpet when you zoom in on makeup looks, a lot of the time the eyeshadow underneath really does come quite far down. And a lot of people get scared to do that, but it's all about transition. And that's what makes a sort of smoky, sexy eye. I'm going to need more mascara. I did some mascara because I had my daughter's football match this morning, but I just did a very light layer. For something like this, I want a mascara that does that sort of sexier, clumpier look. And the mascara I want isn't in the pot. Aha, there it is. This is a really good one to do it. Maxi Mod by Kiko. Really unusual small brush. Don't know how it's going to do going over the top of this mascara I put on this morning, but we'll give it a whirl. Some mascaras let you do this more than others. So sort of that's quite spidery look. That's because I've gone sort of in with that eyeliner that I want to do that. If I would have stopped with the Delilah crayon, I probably would have wanted a mascara that sort of really separated my eyelashes. Don't know why my eyelashes are quite sparse on this side. There we go. bit of bronzer actually on all over because I didn't put much on this morning. Let's use this brush. Just with that Giorgio Armani again. I do think if you're going for quite a sort of sexy smoky eye, you definitely want to make sure your base has got some colour to it. You don't have to use blusher. You could just use bronzer, like loads of bronzer. And you can do this technique with any colour combination that you want to do. Let me go and get some natural light so you can see. The natural light's not great in here. Let me do somewhere else.